Thank you for joining us in the Spring 2022 Library Workshop Series. Today we're going to be talking about navigating the library catalog. The library catalog is a wonderful starting point for any of your information needs. Whether you're searching for a reference entry to get background information on a topic you're researching, or whether you're searching for a scholarly article on a topic that you are researching in depth, or if you're certainly curious about any topic for personal edification or for classwork or professional work, a perfect place to start is the library catalog. You can get there by going to hancockcollege.edu/library/index and you will arrive. You can also get to the library homepage by logging into your My Hancock portal and then clicking on the library icon. If you log in through your My Hancock portal first, you should then get access to all digital items, whether or not you are on campus. You can also get to the library homepage by going to hancockcollege.edu and clicking on Library on the gray ribbon at the top. Once you're there, you can begin searching the library catalog by typing in your search terms in the box under the text that says, "Welcome to the library, start your search here." Once you enter the search terms or title of a book or film or article that you're looking for, you will then click Search and it will open up the search results in a new tab. Another great thing to keep in mind is that if you ever have any questions about how to access the library catalog or how to get research help, if you feel like you're not finding results that are relevant to your search terms, chat with a librarian. You can chat with a librarian by typing in your search terms here on the box on the right. You can also text with a librarian, and you can also send us an email, you can call us, or you can come visit the library during our open hours. There are two campus libraries. One is located on the main campus in Santa Maria in Building L North. For spring of 2022, the Santa Maria Campus Library has open building hours Monday through Friday. There is also a second campus library at the Lompoc Valley Center. The Lompoc Valley Center Campus Library has open building hours Monday through Thursday. You can also chat with a librarian 7 days a week from early in the morning, most days starting at 6 a.m., till late at night. 5 days a week, you can chat with the librarian up until midnight. You can check the hours during which the chat is offered, and as long as it says available or some variation in green and white, this means that there is a librarian ready to assist you. Type where it says type here to chat, and you can ask a question such as, and also if you see this box pop up on the right that says need help, you can click where it says ask us, and the chat box will pop up too. These are two different ways to get to the same place. You can begin by saying something such as, "Hi, I am looking for an article on the topic of social media." Now, this is a pretty broad topic, so if you were to search this on the catalog, you would get many results. It's very helpful to speak with a librarian, either in person or via chat, as the librarian will ask you questions to help direct you in your search. Say you're working on an argumentative essay for your English 101 class. Now, social media is a topic, but social media is not your thesis. It's not your opinion on the topic of social media. So the librarian may ask you questions such as the question they just asked. What specific aspect of social media do you want your source to be about? So are you looking at social media as a way to foster creativity and innovation? Are you looking up social media as a way to reconnect with family members many miles away? Are you looking up social media and its detrimental impacts on relationships? So the librarian will help to direct you. You can say something like, I am curious about social media and its contribution to creativity and inspiration for new companies. And the librarian will guide you, asking you those questions because they're thinking about where can I best direct the student to assist them in their research. They may direct you to start on the library catalog. They may also direct you to go straight to one of the article databases, film databases, or to a book in the print or ebook collection. The librarians are very friendly and knowledgeable. This one is giving us the recommendation to go to the articles and more page, and they're giving us a link to follow. If you were to click the link, this would take you to the article database page where you can search in depth for different articles, film, and reference books. Another place that you can start, however, is by starting very broadly and searching for a little bit of everything in the library catalog. So let's click here and let's type in the term social media and innovation and business. Now I'm typing in a lot of terms to start. You don't have to put in this many terms when you start. You can start with one keyword, you can start with two keywords, or you can start with as many keywords as you like and see what kind of results you're getting. If you click search, the results will open up in a new tab. The results you'll see on the catalog will be a collection of books, both books that you can physically pick up from the library, check out, and then return at a later time. Other result types include ebooks, articles in print and articles online, DVDs, and streaming films. For a keyword search of social media plus innovation plus business, we have many results, 159,627. Now, don't worry if you see this many results and start to feel a little discouraged. What we're going to do is we're going to try to refine our search by adding filters and altering our keywords. Sometimes I like to browse to look at the first page of results and to see if anything jumps out as being especially on the topic I want to learn more about. Number one, business value of social media technologies, evidence from online user innovation communities. Now, this may be interesting, so I might come back to that. Number two is a book, an ebook available online. Number three, the value of social media for innovation, a capability perspective. Number three looks very interesting to me. You can see what source type this is, what material it is, by looking at this description. So it tells me result number three is an article. It tells me the title. It gives me the author or authors. It tells me the source where this article was first published, which was the Journal of Business Research. It tells me when it was published. It was published in 2019. It tells me that this was volume 95. And it tells me that this article runs between pages 116 and 127. The description starts within the quotation marks. And then if you go down just a little bit, it tells me that this article type has been peer reviewed. If you need to have a special scholarly article known as a peer reviewed article for your research, then this might be a helpful resource to look at. Other information included tells me that this is open access, so this should be freely available online to all people. And if you click where it says available online, it will either take you directly to the article or it will take you to a summary page. It's going to tell me a little bit about the abstract. It tells me in the abstract, in about a paragraph, what this article is about. I recommend reading the abstract of an article before fully jumping in and dedicating a significant amount of time to reading the full article itself. If the description sounds good to you, then go ahead and read it. You can also click on the title of the article and you can learn more about this resource. You can scroll down. Number 7, this is Small Business Smarts, Building Buzz with Social Media. Now, if you're only looking for articles, let's go to the left-hand side where it says Availability, and let's click on Peer-Reviewed Journals. So I only want these specialized peer-reviewed journal articles. So I don't want to see any other source types. And then click Apply Filters. Now we're down, instead of over 150,000 results, now we're down to 65,000 results. That's still quite a bit and a bit too much for me to go through. So I'm going to continue to refine my results on the left-hand side. If you scroll down, you can choose resource type. The vast majority of resources we're seeing will be articles. So 63,000 of these sources are articles. You can also go down to creation date and notice how the sources that we're seeing were published between 1900 and present. So you might be thinking to yourself, well, social media did not exist in 1900. And while it is very true that social media on apps and smartphones and electronic devices, as we know it today, certainly did not exist in 1900, what's happening is that we are getting a variety of results that happen to include the keywords I entered above. If we refine our date of creation, we can choose what date range we want to read articles from. So if I only want articles that were written in 2012 to the present, I could then click Refine. And now we're down to 42,000 results. That's still quite a bit. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put terms in quotation marks. When you put a term in quotation marks, you're telling the database that it needs to return results that include these exact words in this exact order. Now let's hit enter. And we're down to 45,000 results. And we're going to reset some of our other filters. We only want peer-reviewed journal articles. And that takes us down to 13,000 results. So we're making progress. Then we can click on creation date, reset that. Let's say 2013. Apply filters. Now we're down to about 12,500 articles. Social media, innovation, business, a lot of articles are coming in. Let's type in the term small business. Now notice how now we're down to about 3,700 results. But notice how we have cut down significantly from our first search by refining the kind of materials we want to see. And let's reset peer-reviewed journal articles created between 2013, apply filters. Now we're down to 874 results. You can continue to refine the search date. You can update your keywords, social media, innovation, and I'm going to also add in the term food or restaurant. Let's add in small business, restaurant. Now we're down to 700 results. Let's reset those filters again. I only want peer-reviewed journal articles, and I only want articles that were written, now let's say 2016 to present. And now we're down to 120 results. So what are the characteristics of these 120 results? They include the exact phrase, social media. They include the keyword innovation. They include the exact phrase, small business. And they also include the keyword restaurant. All of these articles are peer-reviewed, and none of these articles were written before 2016. You can freely read all of these articles from start to finish. You can add in additional terms. You can add in, let's add in California. Sometimes if you add in too many different keywords, you may end up with either no results or you may end up with a huge number of results because the catalog is simply trying to pull in alternate words to try to approximate some of the topics you're searching for. Let's do social media and let's get rid of the term small business. Social media innovation. Let's try social media outreach. I'm going to say restaurants, California. And we're down to 540 results. Now let's use our filters to further refine what we want. I want peer-reviewed journal articles. And let's go to creation date. So I only want articles written after 2016 and after. Let's apply those filters. And now we have 78 results of a keyword search of social media plus outreach plus restaurants plus California. Here you can scroll down and you can see some of these may be exactly on the topic you're looking for. Some might not be, and you can continue alter your key terms. You can search, go to the next page. Number 12, a public-private partnership to mitigate food insecurity and food waste in Orange County, California. Food gentrification. And if you find that the results are a little bit too narrow, you can remove terms. So social media, advertising, restaurants, and California. The results went up to 17 because we have to reset our filters. We only want specialized peer-reviewed articles. Let's go to creation date. We only want from 2016 to present. Now you don't have to set your filters to be that specific, but you can play around with it and see if you're able to really zero in on topics and run news about the issues you're researching. So now we're down to 186 results. Adolescent peer influence on eating behaviors via social media. This one may be interesting to look at. This was written in 2021. Article number 2, social media as a catalyst for policy action and social change for health and well-being. Now, maybe it turns out that while I started searching for innovation and restaurants and social media, maybe I'm curious now about social media as being a catalyst for social change for health and well-being. And if this looks interesting, you can click where it says available online, and then it will take you to the landing page. And don't worry if you find that you have an error message. We can get to this article another way. Do not worry. Let's see. Let's try number 6. If you get an error message, it may mean that we need to get access through another database. That may have just been an error in that moment, and you can refresh and start again. Health remedy fallacies strike social media, and we're going to want to read our abstract, our summary, and if that summary looks good to us, then we can click on where it says PDF to read the full article. You can alter your terms. See, social media, let's do influence do eating habits, and let's take out the word California. So now that I've browsed some interesting titles, I'm changing my mind about the topic I want to write about for my paper. And I'm going to, now interesting, number one, young people's is of viewing the Fitspiration social media trend. This one may be interesting. And it tells me who wrote this article. It tells me the journal it was published in. It was published in 2018. It tells me this is peer reviewed. This happens to be open access. And if you click available online, it should take you to that article. No worries, I'm going to refresh my connection. Social media use for nutrition outcomes in adults, a mixed methods systematic review. And when you find an article that looks interesting to you, like number 4, determinants of eating behavior in university students, you can click to the side, and then it's going to pop up and give you more information about where you can view the article. So you can either directly click the link below, or you can click on the result to learn a little bit more. So we have our title, we have our subject. Then you can read the description. The description is the same thing as the abstract. It will give you a brief summary of what this article says. Then under full text availability, choose one of the databases. Either one is fine. Let's click on EBSCOhost Academic Search Complete. And here's the article. If you scroll down, here's that abstract again. Instead of this time it is called an abstract. What's also nice about the database is that when it connects you to the article, what's nice about the catalog is that once it connects you to an article, you can sometimes get a lot of interesting information about the creation of the article itself, the subject, who wrote it, and if you scroll down, you can sometimes see the author affiliations to remind you of the why these authors are experts in their field. On the right-hand side under Tools, you can open this article and save it to your Google Drive. You can print this article. You can add it to a folder. You can email it to yourself. You can save it once you've created an account. You can click Cite and then scroll down to choose your citation format. This will save you a lot of time when you're creating reference or works cited pages. Here we have APA, Chicago format, MLA 9th edition. If you were to copy and paste this, make sure that you keep the correct formatting and you adjust for any errors. On the bottom right, on the right-hand side links, you'll see a link to the permalink. If you'd like to come back to this article at a later time, you would copy and paste this link rather than just using the link at the top. You always want to use the permalink to come back to this article. If you're ready to read the article, click on the left where it says PDF text. This will open the article and you can read it and it will look exact same format, same page numbers as if you had picked up a hard copy of this journal when it was first published. This has page numbers. Sometimes it will include direct links. Sometimes you will not get the option to have a PDF full text link to an article. Sometimes you'll see HTML full text, and that is the same. Now let's go back and let's look at another facet of using the catalog. You can also use, I'm going to click in the top where it says New Search. You can also use the library catalog to locate many books available through the library. One special collection of books is known as the Books for Bulldogs collection. This collection contains books that are actively being used in courses across campus. So if you're looking, for example, for your textbook, Health the basics. You would type that in, and then you can either hit enter, or when this menu pops up, you can click on where it says Health the Basics and search only within Books and More at the library, or search only within Books for Bulldogs. Let's start broadly. I'm going to hit enter after typing in Health the Basics. There are many results, over 6,188,000 results. This is because the catalog, if you recall from before, is simply searching for the terms health, and basics, but it's not necessarily searching for those words in this exact order. If you were to put those terms in quotation marks in that exact order, notice how we drop down to 2,631 results. But we happen to be lucky that the first results here are the textbook, copies of the textbook. Now always double check that you have the right book and author. Next, look at the publication date. If you're looking for a textbook that has earlier editions and you are looking for a specific edition, check that year. Then go down to where it says available at Lompoc Valley Center course reserves and other locations. So if you click there, and then you can choose which location you are seeking to find a copy of this textbook in. Notice how this is available in course reserves, stacks, and we can go back, and you can see the same in our 2013 edition. Here, notice how it says one of the locations is Santa Maria Campus Library, Books for Bulldogs. This will then tell you which edition is available and how many copies. If you scroll down, note that this is for the 13th edition, 2013, and if that's the edition you're looking for, you can see if any copies are available. Let's go back and let's go to the 2019 edition. And if it says stacks or Books for Bulldogs, that means you can borrow this book for between 3 weeks and the whole semester. Books for Bulldogs texts can be borrowed for the entire semester, whereas books in the general collection, also known as the stacks, can be borrowed for 3 weeks, and then you can renew those books another 2 times unless someone else places a hold. Now it appears that this is the 12th edition, and if we're looking for the 13th edition, we saw that on the previous page. Just to show you, when you do find the edition you would like to borrow, you will next need to sign in. So in this yellow rectangular box, it says please sign in to check if there are any request options. You'll click on sign in, Hancock College SSO. If you already signed into your Hancock portal recently, it won't have you sign in again. If it's been a little while since you logged in, it will prompt you to put in your username and password. Next, you're going to go back and click on the location where you'd like to borrow a book. Then you're going to click on where it says Request on the right side. Click Request. Next, you're going to choose your pickup location. Would you like to pick this up from the Lompoc Valley Center, from the Santa Maria Campus Library checkout desk, or from the Santa Maria campus lockers? And when you're ready, you'll click Send Request, and then you should be able to double check that your request went through by clicking on your name in the top right corner, and you can click on My Requests. You can also click on My Loans to see what books you have out and when they are due. You can always start a new search by clicking on New Search. And let's look up another text. Let's look up Exploring Psychology. Now I'm very lucky because it happened to pop up within our first few results. But you can make sure that you're only going to be getting books from the library. If you click on the right where it says Articles, Books, and More, and then choose Books and More at the library, or textbooks/course reserves, or if you only want to search for a textbook you can borrow for the semester, click on Books for Bulldogs. I want to keep this search broad, so I'm going to click on Books and More at the library. Notice how, because it does not include the word articles, I should not be getting any journal articles in my results. So here we are, exploring psychology. 4 different versions have been found. This is available at the Santa Maria Campus Library Course Reserves, Psych 101. It tells me this is available through Course Reserves. Course Reserves are specialized copies of the textbook that you can borrow and use in the library. They do not actually leave the library building, but you can use them, take notes, study, and read them while you are there. You can also scroll down and you can click on C4 versions and then see if these are located in other areas. The 4th down says Exploring Psychology, available at Santa Maria Campus Library, Books for Bulldogs, and other locations. I'm going to click on where it says Available Books for Bulldogs, and then it tells me that there are multiple copies of this book out on loan, but there are 2 copies that are in place and are available to borrow. So then it says 0 requests, which means no one else has requested either of these copies. Then I would click on Request and follow through the process in order to place a hold request and then pick up these textbooks. I hope that you found this introduction to the library catalog to be helpful. Please chat with us, come visit us, email us, or call us with any questions about using the catalog, and have a wonderful day.